say that I am free of debt. Yo, come back at any time. You will never see me again. That job cost me. But how did I get to accumulate 20,000 pounds of debt? Hello and welcome to How's Your Heart podcast. It is Lindo for short. Thank you so much for joining me to yet another episode. I think this is episode 23. I will correct that after looking at the previous episodes. Guys, it's been a long time coming. I have been practicing on how to say that intro over and over again. And I hope I did it well because it's been a while since I've done it and it's nerve-wracking to come back in front of the mic. It's New Year's Day and right now the time is 8. I'm recording this at night because I've been trying the whole day. I've been trying to record this the whole day, but finally I'm doing it. And talking about the year, guys, I'm so grateful for the people that have joined the family. I don't know, it's a family, we come together, it's friends, we come together, we share our hearts, and this is a safe space. I've created this space to be a safe space for myself and those that come into this space. So yeah, thank you, and I hope you can keep sharing the podcast. And please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. It means a lot to me, and it's free for you. It's free. So let's get into it. I celebrated 30 years of living on this earth. That is crazy. I turned 30 in less than a month ago. And guys, it wasn't scary for me. Like, I love growing older. I love the fact that you get to accumulate experiences, grow, mature. And I just love growing older because I just feel like the experiences you're able to, you get to know yourself. And sorry, I just want to fix this. You get to know yourself and you kind of know that things are going to be okay because you've seen how things have gone in the past, and that's what I love. So yeah, I just want to get into celebrating my 30th birthday. Guys, my friends showed up and I'm so grateful. I was surrounded with so much love. If you haven't checked out the vlog, please check it out. Getting into my 30th birthday, I did say I spent time with my friends, and there was just one thing that I wanted to do for myself before I turned 30. And that is getting financial freedom. Guys, that's all I can say. Like, trying to achieve financial freedom, especially from debt, was not an easy road for me. And I can say that I am 20,000 pounds free of debt. Lord, He's been so faithful. He's been so faithful. So how did I get to accumulate 20,000 pounds of debt? So I moved to London. As some of you know, I moved to London almost 3 years ago now. When I moved, I had just finished my training. So, I didn't have savings because I was living off a trainee salary. And also, I just wasn't financially savvy. Like, I did accounting, but I wasn't financially savvy. And so I didn't have any kind of savings leading up to me relocating. And it's a big move. I underestimated the move. Like, all the aspects of life, I underestimated it, how it would change my life, my outlook, finances, everything about it. So that move cost me almost, I have a breakdown here. It cost me, that's 269. It cost me 9,000 pounds. Obviously, the company paid for some of the costs, and I did, because I had nothing, like had no savings, no financial backup. So I had to make sure that I was safe. So I literally took any available finance that I could get so that I could be safe. And I got here paying for a deposit, paying for furniture. We didn't have furniture in the house. Just like starting up a new life, it cost a lot, right? I think a year later, I got a credit card. I don't think that was the most financially savvy decision, even though it really helped me. I think, yeah, getting that credit card just made things go downhill from there. The credit card available balance was £10,000. No credit history in the UK, nothing. They gave me £10,000. Guys, I was like a kid in a candy store. I wasn't bawling, but I was surely living above my means. I was, because things like going out, I'd spend on the credit card, think that I would pay it after, and just not pay it. I think like mindless spending on that credit card maybe was about £2,000, something like that, buying clothes, a new season. There was a lot. So I'd say mindless spending was about £2,000. And then I changed jobs. 18 months after my first job in London, I changed jobs. And that job cost me. At some point, I was thinking, Lord, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have just stayed put in that job that I had, because it cost me so much. I had to pay out of pocket, I had to pay for a visa costs, NHS application fees. I had to actually after the first year in London, I moved, so I had to pay deposit out of that credit card. And when I was moving, so I moved the first time, and I had to pay deposit, and I used that credit card. And then I changed jobs. I had to pay my visa costs out of that credit card. When I was changing jobs, my last salary paid off my previous company, because I had to serve 2 years before I could move. But because I didn't serve the 2 years, I had to pay back a lot of money. It was about maybe £5,000. So that meant I didn't get my last salary, my last month's salary at that job, and I had to still pay off my living expenses for that month, rent, food, everything, and starting a new job. Guys, at some point I remember praying, like, God, why did you even give me this job? Because it has cost me so much. I love my job, I value it, but financially, it didn't make sense for me to move. It didn't make sense for me to move at all. So if you have been counting, this is now 19,000 of debt that I had. I accumulated that debt over 18-month period. That's a lot of money. So I just wanted to talk about the lessons that I learned during this time, paying off this debt. The number one thing is planning. I did not plan ahead. I did not think about what are the big things that could change. I did not think about, okay, I'm making this move. Am I financially prepared? Moving to London was a big financial decision, but I just didn't consider it. So the most important thing is to have savings, but more than anything, have emergency funds. And that's what I'm starting to build up now. Have emergency funds, because you don't know how life can change at the spare of the moment. Life can change. You can have unexpected cost of having to go home, or having to pay for this, having to pay for that, or you lose your job and you cannot take care of yourself. So plan ahead. Have those emergency funds. Secondly, learn to say no. Learn to say no. Delayed gratification. Guys, the first year in London, I saw people going on vacations. And at the time, I still just wanted to pay off the first £9,000 debt that I had accumulated. And I did not go on holiday. People will ask me, oh, where did you go this summer? What did you do? Nothing. Sitting at home. And also, like this year, because I wanted to get to my 30th financially free, I had to say no to a lot of things. Yo, it was hard, but it had to be done. And 3, stop comparing yourself. I'm preaching to the choir because I do that. I did that a lot, and I'm learning now not to do that. We all come from different backgrounds, right? I would see people, they're traveling, as I said, they are living in certain in areas in London, like expensive areas, or they are like going out every now and then, and I would question, like, damn, what am I doing with my life? Yes, I lived my life to like, I enjoyed my life, but I'd still want to do more. And I think there's also the concept of black tax in our culture, or it's mostly this term is mostly used in South Africa, black tax, and that's sending money back home. I don't like using that term. For me, I'm blessed to be a blessing to other people, especially my family. And at some point, I just wanted my money for myself. I didn't want to send it home, right? And for some of us that still have to send money home, that do want to support our families, that do want to do things for our families, we have to plan for those things. We cannot just willy-nilly, willy-nilly spend money and then complain that, you have this responsibility. So what I've learned is to properly plan for that, and again, learn to say no. If there's someone that comes up out of the blue saying, I need this, I don't have. I have a budget to send home, and that after that, it's capped. And this concept of I deserve it. Yo, I deserve it. And you just go ahead. I think for me, I'm not saying for everyone else, for me, I was digging a deeper hole by just using that phrase. I don't think that phrase is for me. I don't say it anymore. I deserve it, because if it was in the budget, then I deserve it. But if it's not, baby girl, you don't deserve it, because like, how are you going to finance it? So for me, I don't like using that phrase, unless, of course, I have planned for it, I have saved for it, then I'll be like, I deserve this. But if it's any other means of financing that thing, probably don't. And number 4, ask people, research, prepare yourself, draw up different scenarios. If this, then that. If I take this route, then that. Like, when there is a big decision, that you're about to make, ask people. I think had I asked people, hey, how's living in London? What is the cost of living? Research, look at YouTube videos, do my research. I will say I did not do proper research on that. And guys, this is so funny because when I moved to London, my salary was 37,500 a year. How was I going to live off that in London? And that's another thing, because I was on that salary for 2 months, I could not sustain my life. So I needed debt to subsidize that. Or, yeah, I needed debt to subsidize the rest of the money because, yes, I passed my board exam, but it took 2 to 3 months actually for my salary to be upped to, I think it was £45,000 at the time. How was I going to live off 37,500 in London? Like, because I did not do that research, I did not ask people, I found myself in like digging a deeper financial hole for myself. And that's where the problems started. I remember I was financially stressed. I was so stressed. I don't know how I would have done it. So yeah, and even when I changed my job, I should have asked, okay, does this decision make sense? If I'm going to have to spend almost £8,000 to pay off my previous company and to pay off for a new visa, does this make sense? Do I have the financial means to do this? Because yes, it's still a good progress in my career, but in my finances, I'm taking a step back. So ask, and research. And then the last thing, number 5, trust God. Tithe. Tithe. Give. This last one is for Christians specifically, and people that believe in the tithing principle. Tithe. During the time where I had accumulated more debt with the credit card, I could not tithe. And it's funny because back home, I was tithing on 13,500 rands salary. I was tithing. And here I was saying, God has given me this job. God has given me, has blessed me to come to London. God has done all these things. But I was not trusting God. I was not trusting God. And I recently came back to paying tithe because it felt like even though I was trying to pay off this debt, I just couldn't get out. I just couldn't get out. I'll try pay it and then something comes up and like I just didn't understand because I remember saying to myself, by March this year, last year, 2024, I will be done paying this debt. And then something comes up and I'm like, nah, it's not going to work. So for the people that are Christians, trust God. Well, start by giving. If you haven't gotten to that level of tithing, start by giving. And if you don't understand tithing, then ask your pastor, ask, like, that principle has saved me because in times like recently, when I went back to tithing, I then could see my money stretch further than it did, even though I was paying off this debt. I remember saying to Amanda, girl, like, oh, what's going on? Because when we were tithing, we were not feeling this financial strain. And then like now things have completely changed because of it's just that principle of putting God first. And for me, that is very important in my life, to trust God. And if I truly believe that God has given me my job that I have, He's given me this opportunity to live here, then it's giving back to Him what already belongs to Him. And He gives me 90% to to do as I please. And I know this is a contentious issue with some people in the church. If you don't believe in the principle of tithing, then fine, don't do it. But for those that have that calling and they feel that whenever they use the tithe, like they feel like they are taking from God or what God has given them, just start doing it. Even if you're in debt, I don't know, it just does something for you. And I'll try put a scripture. Actually, it's Malachi 3. This is the scripture of tithing. It's Malachi 3:10. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. I've seen this for myself. I've seen it. I've seen blessings. Sometimes not financially, but just blessings. There was a time where I lived at home. My mom didn't have a full-time job. Actually, during COVID, we didn't lack anything, even though she was earning much less than what she could have been getting in a full-time job. We didn't lack anything because, as I said, I was faithful in the little that God had given me. And just as a conclusion, I just want to bring up stats in the UK about savings in the UK and South Africa, because I am from South Africa and I believe that some of people that watch this content are from South Africa. So this is the stats. I'll link this article. It says more than half of young Britons living hand to mouth due to high living costs. This is adults age 21 to 38. This is from the Independent News. And then there's another article from The Guardian, and it says more than 11 million Britons have less than £1,000 in savings. So do not be ashamed if you find yourself in a situation where you do not have those for savings, or just life be lifing. But this year, just make a decision to start somewhere. Start somewhere. It doesn't matter. Just start. Just start. Put some discipline. Put some discipline and see how far you get. This is the stats in South Africa. And I believe probably the stats is even worse in South Africa. I can't really find any stats in South Africa. It just talks more about the country's savings rate. But this article talks about estimated 29% of emerging high-income South Africans don't have an emergency fund. This is a study by Standard Bank. And another article talks about that the rate is only 13% of South Africans actually have savings. So I didn't really get into that study. I just quickly looked it up now as I was recording. But I think the fact that people could access their retirement fund and pension funds is an indication that people are struggling. So I say all this to say, don't be ashamed if you find yourself in the same position that I was at. Don't be ashamed. Just start by doing something about it, because we cannot continue the way that our parents and our grandparents have done things. And if you have good financial advice from either your friends, like family, please use that. And I just want to say, as I was thinking about what to get myself for my birthday, I was like, damn, that Coach bag. Maybe I could get myself Prada glasses. I did want all of those things, but I knew that that's not where I'm at right now. And I have to be honest with myself. And I knew that I could never reach financial freedom if I did not have that discipline to say no to myself. And now going into this new year, I am going into a no spend year. I'll tell you guys how about that, and there's a lot of videos about that no spend. I'm going back to doing my nails, going back to doing my own hair, which is something that I did when I was in the pit. In 2022, 2023, then 2024, I had that phrase, I deserve this, but I probably could have saved like a lot of money. It's £100 a month to do my hair. I probably could have used that money to pay more towards my debt. And that's what I wanted to show you guys. And one last thing that I wanted to do, because girl, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this letter that says, this is from American Express. This says, Dear Lindo Kuhle, we have cancelled your UK British Airways credit. We are sorry you have decided to cancel your UK British Airways credit. We have completed this cancellation for you as you asked, and your account was cancelled from 27/10/2023. The nice thing about the UK is that you can cancel your card even before you have fully paid off. So that's when I made the decision, nah, I don't want this anymore. What happens next? As you do not have any outstanding balance, you will not receive any more statements from us. Your cards have been deactivated and can no longer be used. All recurring transactions and direct debits linked to your account will be cancelled. If you would like these transactions to continue, please provide alternative payment details to the merchants or providers. What you need to do to help make sure the process goes smoothly, blah, 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 blah. Come back at any time. You will never see me again. You are welcome to reapply to American Express at any time. Please go online, blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, please accept our best wishes for the future. Best wishes I shall have. And
even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
And thank you so much for watching. And please, if you find value in this podcast, and if you find value in what I've just shared, please like and share, or please leave a comment on how you have overcame, or what you did to pay off your debt, and any strategies to stay out of debt or how to manage debt. And please share your New Year's resolutions about your finances. What do you plan to do this year in order to reach financial freedom? And if you do have that, congratulations, because it is not easy. And thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Go, 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 go.